G'day, Kevin Hillier and Garry Turner here with a look forward to, let's have a look. We've got round 2 of Division 3, round 1 of Division 2 and round 3 of Division 1. Yeah, it's confusing, isn't it? Smackers, let's have a look at Division 3. We won't talk about Braybrook and North Sunshine. They're playing on Anzac Day, so we'll get to that next week. But Sunny Heights and Parkside, two sides look like they might be the goods in Division 3 this year, these two.
Yeah, Sunshine Heights, we spoke about them. Robbie Gretto at the helm again, the leading goal kicker. They'll be hard and tough down there. Parkside with their new recruits who Muratori, Cloak, Dorwood. They've added some class along with the Kelly. And this game will be really interesting. But Parkside, just their overall strength and their ability forward of the ball will kick a winning score, Kev.
Now, Laverton got two sides on the park for their first round in Division 3, which is fantastic news. They'll take on the Wyndham Suns. Couldn't see them winning, but good. Hopefully a big crowd turns up at their home ground.
Yeah, exactly right. A couple of weeks ago, numbers-wise, they really struggled in that, and from all reports, they were competitive against Parkside until it got called off. But the Suns under a new coach and new recruits in Relic and a few of the boys from the Geelong League will go along in their merry way, and they'll just build on from last year, and they'll have a convincing win.
Sanctuary Lakes will be at home to Tarneit. Now, this is an interesting game.
It is an interesting game. Sanctuary Lakes are disappointing last week against North Sunshine, only kicking the 7 goals, but they kicked a lot of points. So the scoring chances, they've just got to nail them. Tarneit, obviously one of the flag favourites down there. Got to add a couple more players in Dan Janowski and a couple others that were unavailable, just a training block. So they'll go along their merry way. Drew Mitchell, he just adds a bit more class in that, and they'll be hard to beat. And Tarneit will have another win.
All right, finally get to see Division 2 for the first time in 2017. Albin take on West Footscray. West got actually beaten by Braybrook in a practice match, so where do you go here?
Yeah, the old story. I had 6 out, they had 6 out, so you take that with a grain of salt, but it comes down. These sides, they've had to wait a long, long time, a long pre-season for some of them. The Cobras, they'd want to win this because to get that 4th spot, and obviously West Footscray last year was just a building blocks. They've got a couple of boys back in Toby Bray and so forth, so I'm going to go the Cobras at home.
All right, Manor Lakes take on Yarraville Seddon. Finalists last year, Yarraville Seddon. How do you fancy their chances this year? I know you've got a bit of an in there. Your brother-in-law's a coach.
Yeah, they're flag favourites. We'll just put the heat on them straight away. But no, they are. They've recruited again. I think they've only lost to one player in Gareth Newton, who's put his hand up to go to Division 1. You can't knock people like that. Manor Lakes, they competitive last year for a few games. The coach and staff there for their second year in charge, they've recruited some younger kids from Hoppers Crossing. This will be a closer game than expected, but just Yarraville's class all over the ground will get them 4 points.
Newport Power will unfurl their premiership winning flag, but they'll unfurl it by taking on North Footscray, who, if Yarraville Seddon aren't flag favourites, North Footscray are.
Yeah, it's out of those two, but geez, there'll be a carnival atmosphere down there, won't there, at Newport? The kebabs will be on the spits and whatnot. The bongo drums will be out. Full credit to Newport. And they've added a new coach in Hanny Harp and Steve Bradbury, who has played football at Williamstown, so a bit of experience there. Against North Footscray, who were really disappointing their last 2 games last year. So they've had a big pre-season, an influx of new players in Jordan Lampy and so forth. They've lost Max Rampling and that. So North Footscray, they'll find it real hard. If Newport are in this game at 3/4 time, they're in for a fight in their hands. But I think North Footscray, because of their experienced players and that, they'll get them over the line.
Right, let's have a look at that round 3 games now in Division 1. Deer Park and Albion. Jeez.
Yeah, who would have thought 1-1, aren't they, both sides? So Albion, they've got a week and a half to stew on that result against Sunshine last week. They were really disappointing after the break, and no doubt Chris O'Keefe would have tore strips out of them, and hopefully you see a different Albion. Deer Park, I'm not quite sure what happened there, whether they just didn't come to play in that, but you can't keep relying on Macquarie. James Condos has bobbed up with another 3 goals in that. I'm going to go Deer Park just because of their class, and it's at home.
Yep, you would have thought so. Sunshine take on Wyndham. Impressed by Sunshine. We don't know much about Wyndham. We haven't seen them yet.
No, Sunshine were impressive all over the ground. They just the bigger bodies, and they were willing to work for each other. And it's going to take them a while, but I can see them really upsetting a few sides. If you take them lightly, you're in for a game.
All right, Caroline Springs are at home. We'll do this one as the radio game. They take on St Albans.
Yeah, well, two cross-town rivals are pretty close, but a couple of players have come back, O'Shea and Mitch Bongiovanni into the Carolines lineup. St Albans had a big pre-season. That Caroline Springs will win it for a half, but I think just St Albans' class with Jenkins and Quigley and those blokes will see them get the 4 points.
All right, couple of games to finish off Division 1. They're beauties too. Werribee District, these sides hate each other. Werribee Districts and Hoppers first up.
Yeah. What do you call that cup, Kev?
They had each other's guts cup.
Well, 3 games for Werribee Districts at home out of the so they'd want to have a forward showing there. They had a really strong last quarter where it was scoreless, so their defence is working well. Yep. Panai's bobbed up with another 3 or 4 goals. Trent Lee was in their best. Nathan Black, just the regulars there. Hoppers Crossing, they haven't got big names, but they're just hard at it like their coach wasn't? And I'll just go Hoppers Crossing here.
Right, that's a line ball one. I'll wait until the day. We'll decide on that one. Spotty and Altone, another two sides who like to get at one another's throats.
Yeah, and obviously the two coaches know each other, play with each other at Williamstown, and Eames's got Spotty firing at the moment. Yep. They would have been happy to be 1-1 at the break. They've still got a few class players missing in Isbista and so forth. Sablich, against Altona, who they threw it right up to Deer Park round 1, and then they've only got half a game, so they're desperate for 4 points. So this will be closer than expected. But Jones, can he get 3 BOGs in a row? So that'll be one headache for Gars. If they can control him, they're probably halfway home. But I'm going to go Spotswood just because it's down at McLaren.
All right, that's our wrap of Division 3 Round 2, Division 2 Round 1 and Division 1 Round 3. You can work that one out at home. Until then, go and see some local footy.